Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Happy Gilmore 2, starring Adam Sandler, Julie Bowen, Christopher McDonald, Benny Safdie, Ben Stiller, Bad Bunny, Haley Joel Osment, and Lavelle Crawford, directed by Kyle Newacek. Now, before I get into this, yes, I have reviewed Happy Gilmore before, back when I did the 90s Adam Sandler stuff, but I'm not going to do his Netflix stuff. Screw all that. But I will come back for this since this was a sequel to a 90s movie with Adam Sandler in it. But will it be as good as or not as good as the first film? Well, because remember, I gave the first film a 3.6 out of 10. Let's see if this is any better or worse. Let's get into it. We get a brief callback narration by Happy Gilmore, returned by Adam Sandler, until he married Virginia, returned by Julie Bowen, as they have 4 boys and a girl named Vienna, who's played by Adam Sandler's daughter, Sunny, as Mother's Day comes and Virginia got killed as he lost his family and his grandmother's house over the years and he became an alcoholic. Well, he's not going back to golf ever again until he works at a grocery store, and Frank Monty, Frank Monty, played by Benny Safdie, who directed Sandler in Uncut Gems, in which I reviewed recently, and Vienna is offered a dancing school in Paris for $75,000 a year. And the boys come by the house for dinner while the boys feel pretty damn crude because they tried golf because of Happy, but they got his former hockey style on them. And I don't like going back to Happy and being introduced to his family, as they come off rather stupid. Happy dreams about Virginia after her death, and he becomes an alcoholic, like I said, because of her death. And Happy goes outside to try to swing the club with a golf ball, and he can't do it until Johnny talks him into playing a game, as he goes to a golf court, and Happy meets and plays with golf with Steiner, Fitzy, and Sally. Sally being played briefly by Margaret Qualley, as they don't know it's Happy Gilmore at first, as they can hit the ball, but not very far, but Happy can't, as he tries to hit it the same way as before until they finally see his face and make fun of him as he remembers what Carl Weathers did many years ago and hits the ball. While the humor is not making me laugh, as it was playing pretty damn safe, but this is a PG-13 rated movie. Happy drives around the golf court while drunk and loses his job at the grocery store and goes to court with while Shooter McGavin, returned by Christopher McDonald, is in the mental hospital, and Happy goes to therapy for alcoholics and sees Hal L, returned by Ben Stiller, as well as Charlotte, who's played by Adam Sandler's other daughter, Sadie, while Vienna's dance instructor was played by his wife, Jackie. And Happy starts the therapy of alcohol while people talk to Frank about turning golf as it's going to change into something different and futuristic, while Vienna dumps all of Happy's alcohol in the trash, and Happy trains to go back to golf to win some money to get Vienna in the dance school. And the writing is a little worse in the first movie, as this isn't as funny as the original wasn't. Happy goes to a tournament for golf while Shooter is in a jail cell, and Happy sees the waiter, played by Travis Kelce, who's a football player and is Taylor Swift's boyfriend, picking on a busboy and sides with the golf players, and they try to eliminate Frank's company. And why in the hell is a football player in a golf movie? And this sequel is just as bad as it was the first time. The old caddy Will is upset with Happy because he ruined his life, while Scotty Schaefer is being interviewed, and Happy has a new caddy man named Oscar Mejes, played by Bad Bunny. As Happy plays his first game of golf, Happy thinks about his happy place and becomes a great golf player like he was back in the day. And he has a successful day, while Oscar's happy place is the waiter getting encountered by a bear, as he gives the busboy his revenge and pull off a cliche, which was Happy not making it at first, but for some reason makes it anyways, as it's pathetic. And this is why movies straight to Netflix are most of the time not as good as the movies going to theaters, And there's a reason I haven't watched an Adam Sandler film in about 10 years. Even the straight to Netflix pile of crap he comes up with anymore. Happy meets Billy Jenkins, played by Haley Joel Osment, the next day as he's confident he can wear shorts in the golf field as Hal brings up its Mother's Day and if brings back memories of when he accidentally killed Virginia. Get to that day and he plays horribly while he encounters Draco, who's the son of the guy who had a nail in his head in the first movie, as Shooter leaves the mental hospital and goes to Frank's company, while Happy plays the game and uses the bathroom for the longest time until he gets alcohol in him and loses the game to Billy. And Frank tells Shooter about the backstory of his players are more powerful than any regular golfers, which is cheating, as Billy beats Happy because of it, and Shooter refuses Frank's offer like Happy did and escapes his company. And this plot is a bunch of nonsense, and which is what this movie is, full of nonsense. Shooter goes to the grave to talk with Virginia, as Happy is also there, and they fight over their differences and suddenly get along. As they get to his house, which doesn't work, as it makes no sense, while Billy says he has golf powers and has moved out of the golf tournament, and his lawyer John Daly says he got thrown off the tournament for working for Frank who is a bad guy, and Vienna wants to hire Slim Peterson, played by Lavelle Peterson, who is the son of Carl Weathers' character in the first movie, and quits the mini golf job he had to help save golf, which was just painful. Shooter talks with Happy and the other golf players about how the tournament works, and shows their screw ups, and prepares them to play against Frank's players by hitting a guy with the golf balls. And it ends with Happy teaching Scotty, who is a real golf player, how to fight like a hockey player. And Happy encounters Frank and Billy trying to talk him into joining their team. But once again, Happy declines, and next day comes with Happy going to the tournament. As Vienna and the boys speed up on the car, and everyone worldwide is watching golf getting saved, and we get the players from Maxi Golf, which is what the Frank's golf company is called, while the basic golf players, and they're going to play 7 holes against each other, and this is horrible. And this is just a horrible film to begin with. The game begins with one of Frank's players hitting the golf ball far away, and Scotty gets disqualified and gets arrested by the cops, and Happy plays his best game as he hits the ball farther and farther, as does Billy, and Haley Joel Osment has an embarrassing role, as he deserves better than this. And the guy who shot a jackass's son who's played by Eminem, what a cameo there, calls Happy a jackass, and his kids show up and put him in the water and gets killed by some alligators, and another golf player breaks his arm, and Shooter takes his place to play the game, and Shooter gets scared as Happy brings back the Shooter McGavin inside him and hits the hole-in-one. And again, that's cliche, and who's left to play? Happy versus Billy. And this movie is 20 minutes too long, in my opinion. Billy hits the ball far away, and Happy hits the golf ball a little bit more distance, and they get near the final hole, which will be tricky, and cheats his way through so that Frank can change the rules, and Frank comes in and makes Billy win his game of golf, but Happy has 2 more hits left. And Slim says to Happy, ricochet this dump, and he does, while Happy has Oscar jump with him on the machine, which is tricky, but even trickier as Frank makes a deal with Happy about if Frank wins, Happy joins the team, and if Happy wins, he gets his mother's house back, pays for Vienna's dance school in France, and Oscar having his own Italian restaurant, and Frank puts the stakes up to the max by the circle spin faster to the max as he almost misses, but he gets the ball in the hole after Oscar feints, which makes the game playable again at 18 rounds. Happy wins a lot of money and gets 3 months sober, and Hal talks to the people like trash as Charlotte gets Hal arrested by the FBI. And they go to Hal, and they go and get Hal because he stole Happy's gold coin and sends the kids to Europe, and they take off with Happy's new car breaking down because it was charged, and it wasn't charged, and walks home. And the climax was dumb enough as it is, but how dumb was it? Let's talk about it in a rating. I'll give this movie a 3.1 out of 10. I don't like going back to Happy and being introduced to his family, as the humor comes off rather stupid. While the humor is not making me laugh, while it was pretty damn safe. But to be fair, this is a PG-13 rated movie, and the writing in this is worse than the original. Happy Gilmore, as this isn't as funny like the original. Or was it as funny as the original? No, it never was, and neither was the original. This is just almost as bad as the original, and this is why sequels to comedies are a very bad idea, like I've talked about before. And even straight to Netflix, as the most of the time, they're not as good as movies that come to theaters. And Happy losing it at first until for some reason he wins the game in the most cliched way possible, as it was pathetic. And the plot is a bunch of nonsense, as this movie is full of nonsense. The movie is painful, horrible, and this movie is 20 minutes too long, as that amount of minutes can be cut out of the movie. And this is a non-recommendation for this movie, as the climax was dumb enough as it is, and this is a stupid movie that makes no damn sense whatsoever. And I never want to see another Adam Sandler movie in theaters nor in Netflix ever again. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me for coming back to this review of Happy Gilmore. And until, I don't know, whenever he makes another dumb sequel to his 90s film, zippity-doo!